Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Welcome to another beautiful beach, eh? Didn't get this in Milan, do you? Paris, they haven't got none of this. Sandy beaches, don't think so. It's a beautiful day here on Tyneside. Monday, 26 degrees today. I've just finished a nice round of golf, knackered. But I'm here after obviously another disappointing weekend, to be fair. We did the video last week, the Champions League draw on a beach. Well, I predicted the Champions League draw, and I did say we were set for the group of death, and we did. We got that. That was obviously after the disappointment of the Liverpool game. Now I'm bringing you the disappointment of the Brighton game. Two very different stories in those games, I suppose. You know, Liverpool were played well, should have won, should have had it wrapped up against 10 men, didn't. Brighton didn't play well at all. Apart from, you know, a couple of chances that we didn't take. I suppose if Isaac takes his chances early on, things like that, it could be a different story. But the defending was horrendous, the effort was unacceptable, and it was embarrassing in the end. And we got away with it, that scoreline 3-1. You know, Ferguson and how bad the defending was and everything, just running away from him. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. The rant is on the channel. The match reaction is on the channel if you haven't seen that already. This one, we're going to be positive now. We're going to head into the new week. We're going to head into the international break. No football this weekend, which for once I think is actually a good thing for Newcastle United. Gives Eddie Howe a chance to reset, figure out what's going wrong. Obviously a lot of people are saying it's the midfield, the balance, Tonali, missing Sean Longstaff. You know, the win percentage with and without Longstaff's there to be seen. He's got some work to do, but obviously Tonali and that's on international duty. Callum Wilson's away. So yeah, there's things to be worked at anyways in this time before a couple of weeks. We'll play Brentford at home is what already looking like a massive game. Talk about those games in the time to come. For now, let's talk about the transfer window that has officially shut in England anyways. The Saudi Arabian one's still open, so if anyone wants to come in and put a massive bid in for, well, actually, who can we let go now? I was going to say Hendricks went to Wednesday. Hayden's meant to be going to Standard Liège. We're still waiting for an announcement on that. Or has he failed yet another medical? Yeah, we've got rid of the Deadwood Mankiw. Does someone want to pay 50 million for Mankiw in Saudi Arabia? No, didn't think so. But we can't afford to lose anyone else in terms of the sellers and that either, because the defence is looking a bit of a nightmare. Listen, Fabian Shaw went off injured. Well, he should have went off injured. He actually carried on through the pain, and you could tell, because he was really struggling. And obviously that goal, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt for that pathetic little stick in the leg out to try and block Ferguson's shot that then goes into the back of the net, which it is unlucky, but it was a poor effort of trying to, you should be putting your body on the line, not just sticking a little knee out. You know what I mean? That was pathetic, really. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was struggling. He should have came off. He didn't. We obviously know Sven Botman is already injured. That's why Dan Burn came in at centre back on the weekend and was canny hopeless, to be honest. I mean, for Ferguson's effort where he's just allowed to run at goal, that's so bad. That, like, how is he allowed to just, our both defenders just split wide open, let him run through the middle, and Burns facing the other way, running the opposite direction. He's running away from the ball. What's all that about? You don't play for Brighton anymore, Burn. But you know, the centre backs, it's an issue. Lascelles has got to step in. He came off the bench, gave away a couple of fouls, to be fair. So it's not looking too rosy. So in this video, we are going to talk about free agents that are available as of the 4th of September. I'm recording this midday. This is going to go out this afternoon. So could we potentially look at the free agent market? Would it be something worth exploring? There is some big names on the free agent list, but they are without a club for a reason, I guess. I mean, obviously they're a free agent. They can sign for anyone at any point. They are getting old now, though, especially the first one we're going to mention. We've talked about centre-backs, we've talked about defensive issues, and that is, of course, Sergio Ramos. He's won the lot. He's an elite winner. He's a legend of the game. He's a quality player. He was only at PSG last year, you know what I mean? So he's still playing at a top level. He can still do a job. For me, at 37, it's not obviously ideal, but if you sign him up on what? Even a 6-month deal. Actually, just give him a year. Give him a year. He's got Champions League experience. He's won the Champions League. Have him in the dressing room. Have him there for the big games, and bring him in. If you're asking me, do I want a 37-year-old Sergio Ramos or a Dan Burn or a Jamal Lascelles, whatever age they are? I'm picking Sergio Ramos. I'm still picking Sergio Ramos over them. I would give him a year's contract. I would give him a year. I reckon he'd fancy a chance in the Premier League. He's linked with going to a return to Sevilla where he started off. He's linked with maybe Inter Miami. I think if you offered him Champions League football in the Premier League, the chance to play in the Premier League, he's never done it. I think he'd take it. And I think we should. I would honestly sign Sergio Ramos. Now, he'll be on big money, but if you get him for a free, give him a 6-month, 12-month deal. Like I said, invaluable experience in that dressing room, leadership qualities. He could bring so much to us. Because there's games where that Liverpool game we should be seeing that out. But because we haven't got too many top players, too many players that have been in that position, know how to win games, know how to win trophies, like the Carabao Cup. It was evident, you know, Man United won that Carabao Cup because they had Casemiro in there. They had big game players in there. They had players who loads of experience, Champions League finals, World Cup finals, all of this, and we didn't. We had Sean Longstaff and that in there who, you know, it probably got too much to them because they wanted it that much. And look, sign Sergio Ramos on a short-term deal, cover the defensive injuries, have options in the Champions League and in the other competitions as well. We've got City in the Carabao Cup. That's a horrible, difficult game. So why not? Honestly, I'm in favour of it. Let me know in the comments, would you sign Sergio Ramos on a short-term contract to cover these injuries and to give us some big game experience in that dressing room? I think it's a no-brainer. And what if he comes in and you think, bloody hell, he's past it now, he's crap, we shouldn't have signed him. Brilliant. Well, you've wasted a few £100 on wages. I know that's weekly, but you've wasted a bit on wages. What? You've wasted a few million on wages. Worth the risk for me. Totally worth the risk. The other free agents to look at first of all before we get into the goalkeepers, because there was a link to signing a goalkeeper at the end of deadline day, which was a load of bollocks. That's why I didn't do a video on it. But before we get into that, we'll just chuck this one in here because he is a free agent. It is Eden Hazard. He is a free agent. He's now left Real Madrid. I'm not sure who he's linked to going to, but I wouldn't sign him. Not like Ramos, I would not sign him. He hasn't been good for years. I don't know what's happened to him. The poor bloke's had a few injuries. Like, I mean, he was an absolute world beater at Chelsea. He was seriously one of the best talents the Premier League, the world has ever seen. In the Premier League, in those years for Chelsea, he was sensational. Like, what a talent. Skillful, end product, finishing, team play, build-up. He had it all. He was such a dynamic player, and he was a real talent. And it's a shame for him that injuries and whatever else hasn't worked out for Real Madrid. They paid big money for him. Hasn't worked out. And now, I don't know where he's going to go. He probably will end up in the MLS or Saudi. Saudi would probably suit him, to be fair. He's only 32, so it's not like he's past it, you know what I mean? But he looks past it because of injuries, and obviously he's bailed on the pounds, you know what I mean? I think he's had one too many tapas over there in Madrid. It happens. I was there in May. It does happen. It's very easy to get carried away on the tapas. Hazard, I'm not trusting that. Like, I wouldn't touch him. I don't think... I was going to say it's not an area we need to strengthen, but I wouldn't mind a bit more creativity in end product on that right wing, like, or on both wings, I suppose. At the minute, I know we've got Barnes and Gordon, but Gordon missed a good chance against Brighton as well. It was on his right foot. But nah, I wouldn't touch Hazard. He would have big wages, and I don't think it's a necessity. The other one I was going to talk about, there's two goalkeepers actually to touch on. The other one that is in the thumbnail is David De Gea. Again, you could argue a Premier League legend. He was there for so many years at Man United, kept so many clean sheets, won so many golden gloves. And he's only 32 as well. Or is he 34? I think he's 32, correct us if I'm wrong. But you know, that doesn't really matter when you're a goalkeeper. He can play till the 40 if they look after himself. Look at Buffon, still gone. But yeah, I think when you look at it, he could come in. He's got Champions League experience. He's won World Cups and everything. So you could look at that and be like, oh, would you get to here? Because Pope's been dodgy. Pope looks off it. Distribution, decision making, crap. So would you bring him in? I don't know. I'm not really bothered about De Gea. I'm on the fence with this one. I'd probably say no to that as well, actually. I'll say no to De Gea. I won't sit on the fence. You know that's not me. I don't pretend to be something. I'll rant if I want to rant. I'll say it how it is. And, you know, not like some people who are scared to say how it is, or, you know, they're a bit cautious and nah. Always say it how it is, people. I think that's why you like it. Some people don't like it. Couldn't give a shit. Don't like it. Turn it off. But De Gea, I'm going to say no. No gracias to De Gea. Because for me, he's still got a mistake in him. He's definitely got a mistake in him. He's quite prone to a fumble, isn't he? So, nah, I would go no for De Gea. But the other one is interesting, who's a free agent now, because Nice let him go, is Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel is available. I would probably say yes to him. Again, though, Kasper Schmeichel, yeah, I would, but at the same time, I'm thinking we've got Dubravka. I think Dubravka's a very decent number 2, and for me, I think it's only a matter of time if Pope carries on the way he is, that Martin Dubravka gets a chance in goal again, because he's sitting there patiently like Eminem, you know, he's sitting there waiting patiently like 50 Cent, and he's waiting for his chance again, because he's went to Man United, he didn't work out there. He came back here, he came in when Pope got sent off against Liverpool last year, did well, saved a couple of good shots. Couldn't play in the Carabao Cup final because he'd already played for Man United, which was a shame. But when you look, you think the way Pope's been playing, the distribution, the decision making especially, confidence is low. I'd probably bring Dubravka in now. I'd give Dubravka a chance against Brentford. I see a lot of you in the comments saying shake things up. You know, we need to bring in Longstaff, drop Bruno, we need to bring in start Tino or start Hall or start Murphy or Isaac and Wilson together. You know, there's options there, and we need to look at them because it ain't working at the minute. 3 defeats in a row, it ain't working at the minute. Obviously, we've got the break to work things out, but yeah, Schmeichel though, I would say, I'll just say no because we've got Dubravka. I think Dubravka's a good enough backup to chuck in, but let's hear what you think because Schmeichel won the Premier League. He's only 32. Still a very decent age. I think you could even sign him up, I suppose. Eddie Howe doesn't fancy Martin Dubravka, which looks like he, since we've allowed him to leave the club. I know he wanted to leave first team football, didn't work out for him. But, you know, we could bring in Schmeichel on a year's deal and then let Dubravka leave next summer, sell him for a few mil, and then keep Schmeichel as my number 2 or fight for number 1. That could be an option. Should we explore the free agent market? There's a few more who are available free agents. Another keeper that Newcastle linked with on deadline day was Lloris, who seems like Tottenham are willing to let him go, but I don't think that's going to happen. I wouldn't want Lloris. He's well past it. Look at the state of him when we put 5 past him in 19 minutes at St James's Park last season. I don't want Lloris. I think there's a few more free agents obviously out there. I think Andre Ayew was one of them. The forward who was at Palace. There's quite a few, but those are the main ones I targeted because the other ones aren't good enough or past it. For me, let me know. I think obviously the household names is your Sergio Ramoses, your Hazards and your De Gea's because they have won a lot in football and they have got big reputations, but injuries, age, not on their side. Let me know. For me, to round it up, I'll give it a yes on Sergio Ramos, I'd give it a no on Hazard, and I would give it I'm going to say yes on Schmeichel. Bring in Schmeichel. He's a free man, it's cheap. It's free, it's easy. Get it done, you know, we've shipped out the wages of Hendrick and that. Bring him in. We've got loads of competitions coming up. Listen, if Porto Dubravka gets injured and Lee Karius is playing the Champions League away to AC Milan, it's going to be left end. But hopefully that's not the case. Hey, big up Karius. I thought he did alright in the final and Pope isn't, so maybe Karius is knocking on the door as well. You know what I mean? We'll see. But that'll do for me. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this sunshine, people. I hope you are having a great start of the week. Happy Monday and all that. Drop your comments for what you think of the free agents. Subscribe to Magpie Channel TV and enjoy yourself.